Mother Nature is under attack. Today, we have a group of ladies. We're going to discuss what's really going on around the world, all this crazy weather, crazy food. We've heard all kinds of crazy stuff when it comes to food. Today, we have our special guest, MJ. She's back. Welcome, MJ. What's going on? We also have our regular host, Misty Misty.
Yes, Misty.
Hi, everybody. Hey.
Sprite on top.
What do you think about the crazy weather? It's like summer, spring, winter. Today it felt very cold today. What do you ladies think about this crazy weather?
I think it's peculiar. The way it gets hot and cold and the way that it has so many like things in the air that feels so unnatural. It just doesn't feel right to me. And it's affecting our planet.
Yeah. I want to say something about that, because if you in tune with the earth, you know that you feel a difference. And I'm in tune with the earth. Like, you know how, for example, that you know when it's gonna rain because you can smell it.
Right.
And that's why people ain't really in tune with life, because they don't care about that type of stuff. Honestly.
I spend a lot of time out in the garden, so I think it's important to notice what happens in nature and have some type of way of feeling grounded to the earth on some level.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I learned from my father. I grew sunflower seeds, corn, watermelon, like cabbage, carrots in the back of my yard. And a good thing that my sister still got my mother's house.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it in the hood on Third Ave projects.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. One time I was younger and I cried because I was growing a sunflower seed. And if you notice, I'm giving facts.
Right.
When you grow a sunflower seed and it grows the head of the yellow, the yellow, it follows the sun from the day to the night. It'll actually turn when the sun turns. That's why they call it sunflower seed.
Exactly.
So I know what Mother Nature can give us. And they is really destroying this shit. I'm sorry. They really are.
Mother Nature is being defiled right about now. She's being straight defiled by all the pollution and the toxins and trying to make the weather altered scientifically. Like, it's anti-nature. They're doing things that are against nature. It's not good.
What do you think is going on with our food chain? Like, I bought produce not too long ago, and I've said this before, the place where I go get my produce, I feel like the lights help keep the produce alive, because once I bring the produce to my residence, within days, it disintegrates, it's withering from within, and I'm saying to myself, what is going on with this food? Like, I would love to know more about our agriculture, and there's not enough commercial or information out there about our agriculture. We're always getting fed fast food and McDonald's and Burger King, but like, what about our agriculture? What's going on with our farming? Is there anything going on with our farming?
I think that there definitely is. I mean, there's a shortage of food. We're obviously getting the food from outward sources. And if there's some kind of holdup or whatever, you're stuck with like really expensive food, or someone takes over the food industry chain who has the money to manipulate it into artificial processed synthetic food that's cheap for them to produce, and they could make a killing.
And I want to say something about what you said. The exact words that you said is a fact. And they are taking over and making synthetic food. We've been through this. Maybe if you, I've researched. I went to college. They'll tell you you can't come with one residents, you have to come with newspaper facts, this and that. You got to have details about if you're going to do information.
Sources.
Yes, resources. So, and then honestly, you can't even listen to the statistics anymore, what they're doing, because it's a whole lot. Honestly.
So you think the information is manipulated?
Yeah, it really is manipulative. I'm going to tell you why. People get sensitive of the pandemic. When the pandemic came out, it was a choice to get the shot. But thinking that everybody was going to get the shot and refused, now you're going to be forced to get the shot. They even manipulated you of, oh, get the shot. You can go to a college for free. Get the shot. Lottery. Even fucking food at that point, that was just an insult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, you can't listen to a person that dominates what's going on, especially with the media.
Well, if they have an agenda to fuel the facts and spin them a certain way so that everyone's almost fooled right in plain sight, fooled into not believing
my
the
question
right.
is there something going on with our farming? How come we don't know a lot about our agriculture? I remember talking to one of my butchers and I had said to him, I said, hi, good afternoon. I'm looking for like a T-bone steak. And I was like, I just would like to know which quality meats are better and, which quality meats are good. And that man literally lit up because people don't even talk to the butchers anymore. People don't even talk to the people that work in these markets. And we're so trained to, buy, and we don't worry about where it comes from. We don't have any questions about where it comes from. We just literally see a price tag, it's in plastic, and then we buy it. But my thing is, when I spoke to him, he was just like, you're the first person who come to talk to me, and thank you for that. He showed me where, which quality meats were the better meats. And I had asked him, I said, where does your meat come from? And he was like, honestly, it comes, frozen, and, I don't really want to get into details, but it wasn't like fresh, but that's what they're showcasing with their imagery. Do you think there's something going on with the farming?
Yeah. So, I could get deep on that because we already talked about the situations, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. For minorities, you better go where the rich people go. Period.
In terms of grocery shopping for food,
Fresh Market, I already put Tally on about where to go. It's not even, if you look at it, it's really not even that expensive if you know how to shop. I'm a shopper. And if I feel like if I had to spend a little bit more money to keep my body healthy, because I got a child and I'm an old mom. I had my son at 34. I'm about to be 39. So even when he turned 18, you want to still be there for your child at 18 with my age. I'm going to be hitting 50, like a half a century. So, of course, listen, they are messing up, and they know that, the economy. They messing up the life of green. You know what I'm saying? Like hands green, making green, not money green, but the natural resources. They don't even sit there and tell you that natural remedies is more than what they're giving you at the hospital. If you go into a natural resource of like natural plants, you can live off of plants. You don't need meat.
Yeah, but is
'Cause
that word becoming
iron-
a joke? Natural? Is anything natural anymore? Or are they trying to get someone to take a monopoly on it so that all the food could be manufactured very cheaply and one person can get mostly all the money instead of like the farmers?
Well, there's
like me,
information out there that I think it's Bill Gates owns a lot of our farming. Now, this is
thank you.
crazy. What
I was
would
gonna
he
say that. I was definitely about to say that next. Definitely about to say
own?
that next.
Why would he own so much of our farming? And isn't his focus like our health and all these other protocols? Now you're into farming. What's that about?
It's
Control the world.
it's about a human being turning into a god. They want control. That's what it is. It ain't even about money or anything. It's about control. How we can put these people in place. Just like right now, how many people really naturally hold money in their pockets now? Everybody is controlled by cards. It's
Oh
controlled
yeah,
by
the
computers.
currency.
Yeah.
Currency is on a card.
There is a difference between money and currency. I think a lot of people have currency, but not a lot of people have money. There's a huge difference.
I don't even think it's a huge difference because they're turning all money into currency. A dollar for our value is not even what it is anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you do a toll, not even a popular toll, ask anybody, do they really hold money in their pocket anymore? When we used to. That's why the value of the dollar is nothing. You could transfer money to one account to another. We're cash apping people. You don't. Who really? For example, who's really getting a check?
I don't like that they're making money invisible. Like it's made totally invisible. Like it's not an actual currency like a dollar bill. It's like invisible. Like it's just kind of like wireless money.
Yes, you're exactly right. That's what it is. And that's why I promised myself that I'm gonna put money in my shit. And when I'm gonna have money, because guess what? The world is made by computers. When shit's shut down, what you gonna do without it? Not a damn thing. You can't even go to your account because shit is closed. It's broken down.
So let's get back to the food. We've been seeing a lot of, articles about, we shouldn't be consuming so much meat. There was an article about having synthetic meat. I'm just not so sure about synthetic. Are our produce and products being sent to us in the manner that they're supposed to because they say non-GMO, but then when you bring it home, it's like it disintegrates so quickly and it dies. And it's just like, I'm really confused now because when I think of something not being something, I'm trying to say, okay, if it's not GMO, then what makes it not last? Because me being from where I'm from, as you say, Marjani, having a garden in your family, having growing food. I grew up in the South. My grandmother definitely grew her own food. We would have produce, it would last for months. Potatoes would sit under her table months and months and months. Her squash, if anything, it'd get a little mold on it, you just cut that off and then it's good to go. The onions would last months. Okay. All she kept it under her table in this dark little spot we had a big dining room table in the kitchen. And over by her china cabinet was like a little stock spot. She had all her veggies, put it in a little box. Back in the days, produce used to last. Now it seems like when I go buy my produce, nothing's lasting. And I'm just like, but it says non-GMO. If it's non-GMO, then why is it not lasting? I don't understand.
Because they're trading quality for how it looks. They want it to be visually appealing, so people will spend that money. They don't care if it lasts, because the quicker it goes, you'll have to go back and get and replenish with more money for them, more food for you if it spoils. They don't care about that. It's just an agenda to make money.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, but I was gonna go way back to then how it started of all I'm gonna say is just say it straight. They is trying to take natural remedies out of the system because they know it works. Period. How can they make money if you gotta keep on going to the hospital? Nobody's cured. How are they gonna make money?
Wow.
How are they gonna make you eat food? You know, food comes in cancer from how it is. They changed it. It's natural women. It's natural. Can somebody sit there and say, let me tell you something. Can somebody sit there and say somebody died off of fucking THC? They might have got high, but that's all about it. They gonna wake the fuck up. Can you name one person just for weed? Weed
No.
for cancer patients from not eating. They know that. Why is it legal now? Why is these people that did sell weed out in the streets go to jail for something now that is legal because you knew what was right and you know what's wrong? But it is what it is.
Yeah. Deep thoughts.
Start being
That
more
is, it's more than deep
aware.
thought. It's facts.
We need to be more aware of what we're purchasing. I believe in fair trade. One of the reasons why I do love going to Honest Weight Food Co-op, one of our local stores, is because they participate in fair trade, making sure that it comes from a natural organic source. And that's
Yeah.
very expensive. And I even asked one of the competitor store I went to, I had said to him, you know, I think it's very strange that you can get a whole chicken $4.95, $6, but this veggie platter $19.99. And I'm saying to myself, now how
Mhm.
can a veggie platter be $19.99 with a little cup of dip, but a whole chicken is $4 and some change? What kind of chicken is that?
That
One
should
that's
tell
been artificially hormones added and
that
things
should
done
tell
to it to
you.
make it swell. They inject water to make it bigger.
You know how many times I watched a Chinese video and they've been pumping that meat to make it bigger, preserving that shit.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
what I'm
is
talking about. That's what I'm talking.
a USA got more products in overseas than anything else. Cause you know, if they had their shit, they not really making in their own. Only things that USA can provide. But other than that, come on now. People in
Yeah.
So
China
why are
working
things not why are things not more?
I don't mean to probably hurt people's feelings, but let me tell you something. Trump made sure that he was going to change that in the United States and make that shit work. He ain't get no recognition about the things that he did, and I had to look that shit up because when people look at the media, ain't really that truth.
So what do you think about brown and black voters for Trump? Do you think that he was leading us in a direction where we weren't paying so much money out and more money was coming in? Like I know that whole thing with, paying for other people's placement and things like, NATO or United Nations, more money was being taken back. Could that money have been used towards business? I just have one question before I go into that thought. We got 2 trillion in Build Back Better. Have you seen anything built back better yet? Or what about the
They
grocery stores? Are they empty?
they literally just started giving back money for, even though I think it's messed up that people been working and haven't been paying their bills. I don't care about none of that. And then y'all cry broke. Y'all should have been smart and stacked that money, flipped it, and then went to your own shit. So, because I've been working my whole time through the pandemic. So, but the thing about the rest of that shit is just like he did what he can. I respect him because he gave you what it was. These people ain't giving us what we are, and then we condition to being a Democrat.
That's
When
not what the first lady says. She said,
hold on, let me tell you something, and this is facts. Democrats was Republican. We had that mindset. As a black, I'm sorry, I'm just saying, as a black person, we were Democrats. I mean, Republicans before all of this came around. Do your history. That's all I want to do is do your history. Because at the same time, I get mad sometimes about situations that people can clearly see in their mind and they just don't see it. Because I stick up for everybody.
It's no secret. I'm definitely Republican, and I may not necessarily want one particular.
I'm a Republican now.
Right.
I was blind. That's what I'm sitting there saying. I was blind until I really did my research. But the thing about it is, we were Republican back then, and it switched over.
But what exactly is the difference between Republican and Democrat? Misty, break that down for us.
I would say that Republican is more conservative. It would take interpolations of religion and of the way things were done a long time ago, and keeping about money and about certain people keeping control of money and of finance is very important. And I would say with Democrats, it's more about like liberation and about certain types of, it's just a totally like reverse of it, like conservative versus forward thinking and more liberal in their views and just wants to do things a different way. Like they're kind of similar, but it's not, you know what I mean?